Hi everybody, Chris Titley here and welcome to Scoreboard.
This episode is powered by SwiftX, Australia's top-rated crypto exchange and proudly homegrown. Just like many of the athletes and business leaders we feature on Scoreboard.
Hi, it's Chris Titley here, and on today's episode of Scoreboard, the podcast, on Friday the 10th of October, in what is a beautiful day here in Brisbane, I'm joined by Kayla Waller. Kayla, thank you so much for coming in.
That was okay.
In person.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, it's great to catch up again. As I said, 10th of October. What's been going on in Kayla Waller's life this week?
I just finished uni for the trimester, which is severely exciting. It's been a long 12 weeks. I got 2 more courses left next trimester next year, and I graduate from my double degree. So,
what is the double degree?
It's in business and international tourism and hotel management. So I'm majoring in sport and tourism management.
Sport and tourism. What a place to be in Queensland with sport and tourism.
Absolutely, especially after those grand finals the past weekends. I'm in the right spot.
That was just incredible. Seeing Ali Brigginshaw, who's been on Scoreboard, lift that trophy firstly on the Sunday, or the Saturday before the Lions, of course, but then also the men's team getting it done. What a time to be alive in Brisbane.
Absolutely.
Now, where's the tourism and hospitality angle come from? Is it some interest?
Oh, it's always been there. I've been working full time since I was 18. I'm not going to tell you how many years ago that was, but yeah, I started in hospitality and I just absolutely love it. I'm a people person, definitely a big extrovert. So I just loved being able to be a part of people's, holidays and morning coffees and making them have a little smile to start their day. And that developed into tourism. But sport's really where my heart kind of fell in love. So what I can give to people through sport is what I stuck with.
How good's a morning coffee, by the way, as well? I'm a little bit, I get a little bit grumpy if I don't get a morning coffee.
Yeah.
So you've got me at a good time. I've had 2.
Perfect.
We're on fire.
We are absolutely on fire. I got my coffee here. We're ready to go.
Never past midday, they say, unless it's an espresso martini. That's the rule. So where's your softball is your thing.
Yes.
You play softball.
I do.
And you played softball all your life, broadly speaking. Can you talk about your interest in softball, how it began and where you are now?
Yeah, so it all started with my mom. She was born and raised in Mount Isa, moved to Brisbane when she was 16, and she played at Brisbane Softball Association, where I play now. She got scouted and she got a Division I scholarship over to the US. So she played in Kansas, where she met Dad. They fell in love and we were born over there, all 3 of us. So I have 2 younger sisters. And then we moved here in 2008, and I started with baseball and started with basketball and started with all the other sports. And I just kept falling back in love with softball and made my first prep team at 11 and first Queensland team at 14 and went up through the ranks in juniors playing for Queensland up until under 23s. And I just fell in love with it. I'm
curious to know what it is about softball that you love so much.
It's the competitiveness, and it's the resilience that you have to have. It's a failure game. You hit 3 times out of 10, your batting average is 300, which is amazing, but that means you're failing 7 times out of 10. I love the fight. I love the competition.
And you're the catcher, right? Do you get called the wicketkeeper?
I do get called a wicketkeeper, and
does it really it's one of those things, eye roll?
It's kind of like when I tell people I'm from Kansas and they call me Dorothy. It's kind of one of those, I've heard that before. It's only been 15 years.
You're from Kansas, are you? Oh, really? Dorothy? You're like, yeah. I haven't heard. It's a bit like when you've finished a meal at a restaurant and then the plate's completely empty and the waiter comes over. Did you enjoy it? Oh, no, it was terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that before.
Exactly the same response. You're just like, yeah, that's really funny. But Mom was a pitcher. She was an amazing pitcher. And I tried to pitch and I hated being the center of attention. So I said, I'm just going to try the opposite. And I fell in love with it because I get to control the game and see how everything happens and mess with people's heads and call pitches they don't like to hit.
All right. Okay. A little bit of, quote unquote, sledging, hey?
Yes, absolutely.
Tactical sledging?
You have to have a bit of attitude and you have to be a little bit
Let's
psycho.
not call it sledging. Let's call it, I suppose, competitiveness out of the mouth.
I think so too. I think competitiveness is probably the best word we can use for it. But, I love it. I love being able to call everything and work really closely with your pitcher. And, you have to be a little bit crazy to catch because you do have 110 kilometer ball coming at your face. So
And the gear, you've got all the gear, right?
Yep, have to. It's
Yeah.
$800 to $1,000 just for my gear every single year. So
Right. Has the gear stuff changed in terms of like the different components of the protection mechanism, etc.? That if you get hit in something, I know cricket helmets have evolved over the years, etc.
yeah, definitely. So you can see a lot in the old days. You have like the umpire's helmet where it's the hard cap, and then you have the face mask over it. So we've actually moved more towards ice hockey helmet. So it's a full one-piece helmet. Yeah, and then you have your chest plate, which it's still stopping that collision and that impact, but it's a bit lighter, so you don't feel like you're carrying a massive thing. And then the legs are a lot more cushioned these days because my knees have gone from a 25-year-old's knees to probably about a 45-year-old's knees due to catching. So.
Due to catching and the squatting and the quad work. You do a lot of quad work.
Mm-hmm. Well, can you guess how many squats a catcher does on average during a softball game?
No, I can't. But I was a novice wicketkeeper back in my time and played amateur lower grade cricket. And I would crouch down somewhere around 500 times a day, but that's over the course of a day. 80 times 6, 80 overs, 480. But there's lots of gaps in between. Like you can sort of crouch down and stand up and have a chat to someone.
Yeah.
9 innings?
7.
See, this is the difference between baseball and softball, right? Yeah, 7 innings, 200.
Yep. Wow, spot on. That was really impressive. You got it. The average 200 squats.
And just to preface this, I had we haven't discussed this. It's like a magician. We haven't discussed this before.
Oh, that was really impressive.
200, and in the course of how long then?
So a usual game is going for an hour and a half to an hour 45. You're usually getting through 5 innings for that time space. So it depends. Usually at tournaments, you're doing hour and a half games, but then when you hit finals, it's 7 innings. So it doesn't matter how long that 7 innings takes. It's 7 innings.
But you're only on the pitch for half of it, right?
Yes.
So you're doing 200 in something like 45 minutes or half an hour. Jeepers.
Yep. And then tournaments are, so the state championships, I just played the Queensland Open Women's State Championships. That was 3, 6, 7, 10 games in 3 days. 10
games times 200. That's for the maths out there. I'm pretty good at maths, not 2,000.
Yep.
Do you sit against a wall with your hammies? Remember when I the skiing exercise before you go skiing, they say, you should get your quads, right? And you scrouch and you sit there, and it's like a time thing. Do you do that?
Wall sits.
Yeah, there you go. Wall sits. That's awesome. Such an original name. How do you go with wall sits?
Yeah, pretty good. We tend to do a lot more explosiveness. So it's not so much the endurance of how long you can sit down there, it's how explosive you can be. So a lot of squat jumps, a lot of blocking. So I'm starting off my knees, I'm jumping up, I'm getting to the ball as quick as I can. So it's more explosive. So box jumps, lunges.
Reflexes?
Reflexes.
How do you practice reflex?
We do a lot of things. So a lot of the cone drills. So you're putting cones out in the zigzag and you're reacting that way. You stand there in a really athletic position and they're throwing a tennis ball. You're trying to react to it that way.
Oh, yeah, like soft touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is soft hands important?
Absolutely.
And this is what I tell my kids when they try and catch things on like I hit a tennis ball up and then whatever, is like pretend it's an egg.
Yep.
Is that still the thing?
Yep. So we actually, a really good soft hands drill in softball is you get like a punching, what's it called? A punching thing? Like
a bag?
Not punching bag, but like a punching glove, like you're about to box. And you
like a glove.
Yeah.
Like a boxing glove.
But not a boxing glove.
Right.
Like a punching, you know what I mean?
I think so.
You have to get soft hands to field the ball because the last thing you want is to jab at it or to not get it correctly. So we call it the
We should do some creative content after this, like to some reflexes, soft hand stuff. I should have got a dozen eggs.
Oh, we
That'd
should have done it and just thrown it at each other. Yeah. Sounds like a great idea.
The podcast is ended up being an egg fight. It would probably go viral, to be honest.
I'd have to leave before you clean, though. I've just
right, you have to leave the cleaning up to someone else. Right now, we've digressed into catching eggs, but no, exercises. That's right. So the reflexes, the quads, the muscles, etc. But then there's a lot of mental side of things. How do you go about training yourself, and what are you doing yourself to be the best version of yourself when it comes to game day?
You have to put yourself in those situations at training. So when I'm walking into training, what a few of my teammates and I are doing in the Aussie hub that I'm in Queensland, we actually pick a team that we're facing at that training session for that night. So when we do our live at-bats, when my pitcher does a bullpen session is what we call it, we're actually facing Japan or facing Netherlands or facing the US. And we have scouting reports from hours of games that we watch, and we go through players and we go through scenarios and we go through things like that. So once we actually get into a game at the World Cup or at a test match, we've done this a million times before at training, because unfortunately we just don't get that level of competition over here in Australia. So we really have to ensure that we put ourselves in those really diehard situations at training every single time.
So the visualization is quite a powerful tool in regards to like, okay, we know when this player comes out, we know about them, we know their data, we know they're right-handed, left-handed, they hit over here, they hit whatever like that. And so are you the driver of that data for the pitcher as well, or is the pitcher kind of going, I think about doing this, and you're like, oh, back that up, I think that's a good idea?
Yeah, so we have a lot of battery camps and we have a lot of chats and meetings and everything like that. And most teams we have a battery coach, which works exclusively with the pitcher and catcher. And we sit down and we watch games, we have notes, and then you go through it. But it's all about your pitcher as well. So not every pitcher has every single pitch that's whatever, and they have specialities, right? So like my friend Jamie, she's a drop ball pitcher. So her best pitch is the ones that go down. So obviously she's going to get more ground balls. Therefore, on certain pitchers and on certain hitters, we use her strengths, not so much her weaknesses against them. So,
and in regards to like the words that come out of your mouth and the signals, etc., you're pretty good at that.
Yeah. So you have to have you do have your pitcher signals. A lot lately, the new kind of trend that's going around is you actually have wrist coaches. So you have wristbands and you have sequences. So you have 3 or 4 numbers.
Are you playing music on your arm?
No.
Like a
little keyboard.
Like is that low G? And they're going, can't really see from that distance.
Yeah, I wish that would be much more entertaining than just number sequences on my wrist. But every obviously sequence is a certain pitch, and the pitcher will be able to look at her wrist and know the pitch. But
so you got a little thing, you got a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what they do in NFL, don't they now?
Yeah, exactly the same as NFL. But recently, MLB and now softball, college softball over there, they actually have earpieces. So yeah, it's crazy. So you have say an iPad and you click drop ball inside, and it says drop ball inside in the catcher's and the pitcher's earpiece.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what happens if someone interferes with the signal? And they're like, there's a batter. You call it batter? Is that what you're like here? That's just cricket that's calling it batter as well. The earpiece is like drop ball. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I know.
Like we've hacked into the transmission.
We've hacked into it. No, well, only the pitcher and catcher has it, and then the coach that is in the dugout that's calling the pitches. So most of the time in Australia, the catcher calls the pitches, but a lot in obviously MLB and then in college softball, the coaches actually call it.
So you're calling it for the pitcher every time, right? But does the pitcher know that you're calling it, like they're not unexpected calls?
Yeah, so you're in really good sync with the pitcher when she can almost guess exactly what you're about to call. So you want to be on the same page and have a game plan when you walk in. And a lot of the pitch, like as a pitcher, you kind of don't really want to think. You just want to be able to see the signal, be on the same page with the catcher, and then pitch the ball. But sometimes you do get, she might see something differently. She might not be feeling that pitch very well. She might call something else. So it's called getting shaken off. So she'll shake off the thing and say no.
Like literally like a...
Yeah, she'll say no to me like this.
And what do you kind of go, do you do this one?
I just...
So you shrug and go...
No, I usually just go, okay, then she wants a different pitch. So I'll pick a different pitch. And then we usually just talk about it after the inning. So I go, okay, why'd you shake me off? Are you not feeling the pitch? What did you see? Did you see something different?
So they sometimes take it and do it against you, and then they get it, the result. And you're like, gotta.
Yeah.
Or the other way around. You're like, no.
Other way around. I'm like, no, pitch this. You can call time during a game. So sometimes I do go out there and be like, what's the issue? What are we doing here? But most of the time, you work so closely with your pitchers that you're kind of the same mind at the time. And in regards to when the batter's there, when can you talk and when can you not talk? To the batter?
Yeah.
You can talk as much as I'll
But
take
as the
that.
ball's coming through, though, it's a bit of courtesy. You can sort of know.
Yeah,
It's coming. It's fast.
You look.
Hey?
You know what?
You don't.
you
They
can-
go, wait, I'm just trying to bat here.
You can talk smack. You can talk smack.
And there's no rules. In cricket,
No.
you have to, as soon as the bowler is running up, like as soon as the bowler starts the run up, it's quiet.
No, you can talk smack. You can talk smack, but if you do, you have to be severely careful because there are definitely consequences that can come your way if you talk too much. That's for sure.
From the umpire or from the other team?
Other team.
Right.
Yeah. So
Go on, give us an example. You lose like 12-0 or something and they go,
Oh, you for sure get in their heads. So you just, you're a big thing of mine. I do like to mess around because we play the same people. So they are friends that I'm playing against and they know that I can talk a lot of smack. So, if the pitch is a little bit too low and the umpire calls it a ball, I'm like, no, she's pretty short. Like,
right. So you're leveling up excuse the pun, leveling up the eyesight thing.
Yeah.
Because it is quite subjective, isn't it?
Absolutely.
In terms of the strike and whatever.
Yeah. So it's between the knees and the chest, and then it has to be over the plate.
And then you go, well, what part of the ball? Is it 100% of the ball or 50% of the ball? And you can kind of, sort of argue that, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're not getting the calls that you want, you can kind of just turn around to the umpire and you can say, how much am I missing by? Do I need to bring it in? Do I need to bring it up? And a lot of the umpires these days are really good at giving you that instant feedback. So now half a ball too off or half a ball too low. And you can adjust or you can actually adjust and tell your pitcher and work on getting it in the strike zone.
Now, the differences between baseball and softball and why you love softball probably more so than baseball, the game seems to be reasonably similar in terms of what we were just chatting about, the banter and stuff like that. But can you talk about the differences and why you're passionate about the differences and why you choose softball?
Yep. So softball obviously is an underarm pitching and baseball's overarm. Softball's actually almost exactly half the size of a baseball field. So an example would be if you run from home plate, touch all the bases, and back to home plate in softball, the distance is equivalent to just running home to second base in baseball. So we are talking very close to half, and baseball can be a bit slow. And I just prefer that quick pace and the
shorter field. Yeah, shorter field than baseball. You'd mention that.
So we're just small. So baseball would be
smaller is the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
smaller field.
We got there. We got there. Yes, we are.
It's Friday. It's the end of the week. I blame kids. No, I don't. I blame myself. A smaller field and faster paced.
Yeah.
And shorter innings.
Yeah. So we have 7 innings and they have 9 innings. So it goes for a lot quicker time.
Yeah.
And you're facing the same speed, if not quicker, at a shorter distance. So you have a lot less time to react.
Of course. Yeah. So you overarm a bit further back versus underarm closer, same speed, broadly speaking. Mm-hmm. And the popularity of softball here in Australia and globally, little bit of research from afar is that the college system in the US is really strong and really big, and there's some professional leagues around the world. I'm keen to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, softball was really big in Australia, especially from 96 when we were in Athens to 2008 when we were in Beijing. So we had paid softball players over here in Australia, and you do tend to, when I go around and say I play softball, you get I played softball in high school and I played softball back in the day. So people know of the sport, but I think because it's not a professional league over here, you're not seeing it on TV as much. You're only seeing some videos on Instagram and things like that. It's just not very big. Whereas, yes, over in America, it's absolutely booming. So you have the college system, you have the AUSL, Mexico's come up with a new league, you have leagues in Europe, Japan's probably the biggest league. So you have your Toyota companies that are actually paying for the softball teams.
And do they own the teams as well? Like I know in rugby, there's the corporates that own it. It's not sort of like the Queensland Reds. It's like the Mitsubishi such and such,
Yeah. So that's over there. So you have Toyota, Mitsubishi. You have everyone over there, over in Japan. So Japan's probably the biggest league. AUSL in the States is definitely getting up there. And we are still around in Australia. So we actually have a lot of us girls. We go over internationally and play international softball within their seasons, which is a really, really cool experience.
And the Australian team, the Spirit,
yes.
When do they play and how often do they play? And I'm curious to know when you first got selected, that moment.
Yeah, so we just announced we are playing Chinese Taipei from the 20th to the 26th of November. They're coming over here. We're playing at Redlands. in Ormiston. And then the USA team is coming as well. So the 29th of December to the 4th of January.
Summer. The peak summer.
Yeah, peak summer. I don't know if they're ready to
the
handle
summer of
the
softball.
heat. Summer of softball. There you go. Thank
Should
you.
work in marketing.
I'll use that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have very excited. So we have those coming up. We have the World Cup qualifiers next year to be confirmed. We just got to see what group we're in. And then the World Cup finals in 2027 we're hosting. So that's in Redcliffe here in Queensland, which is very exciting. First time in 20, 40 years. So amazing. So,
wow.
Yeah.
The Redcliffe, the KO Stadium.
yeah. Oh, no, we're building a new stadium at Redcliffe.
They're building a new stadium at Redcliffe.
Yeah, so we have fields there, just in Kipper Ring, but we've getting some money to be able to update them and upgrade them to international. So it's really exciting.
I've just got another little catchphrase. The summer of softball with the stars and stripes. There you go. Too many S's though. Anyway, pretty good. So that's exciting. That's huge, right? That's huge for the
Massive.
sport, right?
Absolutely. And then we have LA.
Team, they call them Team USA or USA over here, etc. They'll probably be wanting to kind of participate in the communities as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have we actually have had quite a few of the Americans come and play in our national championships. So we had Megan Framo come and play for Tasmania this year in 25 and January 24. So it's really exciting. So we have international players that want to come and play in Australia and play in our competition. So it's really, really cool to see.
What do you think is the driver or catalyst for softball to be more well known in Australia? Does it come from grassroots? Does it come from opportunities? Does it come from like depths of teams? So like if you're good, then there might be one team versus not a competition, and you have to travel a long way to play in a competition. Some thoughts on that?
I think it's a bit hard because we're not A, professional, but B, we're cyclical in the Olympics. So we were in from 96 to 2008, and then we weren't in until 2020. And we were out for 2024. We're back in for 28,
right.
and we're still unconfirmed for LA or for Brisbane 32. So because you don't have that momentum of the Olympics, it's real. And then, you don't have funding and you only have one international competition a year. It's really hard to get some momentum for the sport here. We do have, I'm pretty sure that Queensland has the highest number of softball players in Australia. So people know of softball, but it's just getting more grassroots. It's keeping those girls from 16 to 24 in the sport after high school. And it's just getting some momentum on the backs of our international competition. We are top 10 in the world. We always have been. So it's just making sure that people are aware of that and getting softball in their face.
Alrighty, a little halftime break here at Scoreboard Podcast, and a shout out to our friends that are giving away some merch and some gift cards. And they are Step One, who's giving a $50 gift card away. The world's most comfortable undies, according to myself. I've been using Step One for a couple of years now as undies, and they are super comfy. So thank you to our friends at Step One for giving us a $50 gift card, and to Gripstar Socks, who have sent us some socks for those of you who send me an email, chris@scoreboardpodcast.com, with the words socks and undies, halftime report, or socks and undies, or thereabout, or whatever you want to do in relation to these partners. Please send me an email. First in, best dress will receive a $50 gift card from Step One and a pair of Gripstar socks. Now, let's get back to the second half of the podcast. When was the decision to bring it back into the Olympics? And is it every 4 years there's a decision, broadly speaking, of that?
Yeah, so it's the host country that decides whether or not softball's in. So, and I think it's a bit tricky because it's female softball and then men's baseball. So, but because we don't have the same facilities, you're having to fork out double the facilities just for the one sport. So it is tricky, and it depends on the country and their relationship with softball. So obviously Tokyo was massive, so we were in for 2020, but Paris, it's the culture for softball over there is not huge. So
and then when was LA announced?
We were a late entry into LA, funny enough. So we were a late entry with flag football and everything like that. So we only got told, I think it was right after Tokyo.
Well, that's a good thing, right? You would be really happy. No?
It was amazing, absolutely amazing. And if we were able to get LA and then Brisbane to have just that momentum of 2 years to continue, it'll be really, really good.
And so from a personal point of view, are you a goal setter?
Yes.
And
sure.
is there a time frame on that goal? And would one of the goals be to represent Australia at the Olympics?
Yeah, absolutely. So my goal this year was to make the Chinese or the USA team, and I'm fortunate enough to make the Chinese Taipei team that's playing against them in November. So really exciting, and it's just taking it day by day. But yeah, big goal is to be there for LA 28.
And
sure.
what do you like? Do you break down the goals then into weekly, daily, monthly?
Yep.
How do you do that?
Yeah, your daily goal is to get 1% better every single day. So I'm doing something towards my goal every single day, whether that's eating well, getting to the gym, making sure I'm getting my recovery in, getting my skill work in, things like that. And then, you have your bigger goals. So I've had, unfortunately, a lot of setbacks this year and the past 18 months with some injuries. So just really focusing on staying healthy, getting back to 100%, and just making sure that I'm making teams. So
I'm going to touch on the 1% better every day, and it gets talked about quite a bit, and I'm a big fan of it. I also forget sometimes to check in that I'm improving 1% every day. So you kind of go to the end of the week and you're like, oh, was I better on Wednesday than I was on Tuesday? I'm not too sure. I suppose it's a daily habit you've got to get yourself into. Are you onto that?
Yeah. I think the way I always make sure I'm checking in on that is to just every decision I make, I'm relate it back to my big goal. So, if I want to go get McDonald's for lunch, I go, is that taking a step toward my goal, or is that taking a step back, or keeping
so
me in the
you
same
kind of
spot?
have a bit of like a SWOT analysis going on
Yeah.
per decision.
Yeah.
But at a micro level, it's like grabbing a coffee, you're like, oh yeah, it's probably bad for you. I don't know. Is coffee bad for you? Jury's out, right? But then I suppose a major decision like junk food or a night out or whatever it might be.
I don't want to go for a run today, but is that going to better me for my goal? Then yes, then I'm going. And it's always that, because at the end of the day, 28's around the corner. We don't have the luxury of having an 8-year stint to get to the Olympics. Our sport is not in every single Olympics. So when we get an opportunity like this, and because it's my big, putting every softball is number one priority, and you have to, because I only have 3 years. So every decision I make is, and you obviously gotta,
live.
Yeah, you have to live. You have to have that balance, but it's that resilience and determination and the discipline of, I have a goal set, and you cut that into your smaller goals. So I've worked really hard, and I made the Chinese Taipei team. So now what's my goals to play well there? What am I doing to get there, to have a successful tournament, and then to turn that around next year and continue to make the
People talk about trusting the process. I'm curious to know, have you got a process? Are you trusting it? And also, who's developed that process? Have you had some help along the way, or is it pretty much just fly by let's just keep going and see what happens?
I have a really, really, really good support system in my parents and in my teammates. So I think that's really, really helped me in finding that process. I think I've had to find a really, really good balance of not taking it too seriously and remembering why I want to play softball. That's a really big part of my process is, I coach young girls every afternoon. I'm training 6 days a week. I'm at the gym at 4:00 in the morning. I work full time to pay for softball. And you always have to wake up every morning and go, why am I doing this? Why am I going to the gym at 4 a.m.? Because no one wants to go to the gym at 4 a.m. Why am I going to work 38 hours a week? And it's because I love it. I love the sport. I love what softball's given me. I want to give back. I want to make it to LA 28. I want to represent my country. So it's always just,
Always go back to the why.
Always.
And do you sort of link or connect back to your youth in regards to some of the games and things of like why some of the fun moments?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've had some tournaments where I got to play with my sisters, so my 2 younger sisters, which is probably one of the biggest.
Is that where the competitiveness comes from? Because I've had this debate yesterday with Amy, and she was like, she's a twin. And she's like, I'm ultra competitive, I reckon, because I'm a twin. And she goes, you need to do some studies around that. I'm like, yeah. But then I was like, pretty much 99 out of 100 of the athletes that I've chatted to, it came back to the siblings.
Yeah, it's I think so. I mean, we've all played softball when we were younger. My middle sister still plays, but just at a club level, and my youngest sister went to AFL. So we were playing the same sport, which made it competitive, but it was more just fun. And the smack talk at home is just hilarious because both my parents played at a collegiate level. Dad played football, mom played softball, but they've been coaching Queensland for a long time. So it's, how many national championships does everyone have? And it's
I'm going to touch on your parents just for a second because pre-chat we talked about where they are at now. Do you want to paint a picture for the listeners out there on how they're still involved with the game and somehow you're involved as well?
Yeah, so we initially when we moved here, we found Brisbane Softball Association and our club team, which is Saints. So we got heavily involved just in coaching at a club level. I started making Brisbane teams. So my mom, with the amazing experience she has in softball, decided to start coaching, and Dad's been around it more than long enough to be able to coach that at that younger level. And I've always had at least one of them in my, coaching staff.
Corner.
Yes, sure, coaching corner, we'll say. But they've just always been involved in the sport, and they then got asked to do some Queensland stuff, and that's when it started blossoming. So Mom and Dad won 3 national championships in a row for Queensland in the under-16 age group. Mom went away with the under-15 Australian team to Italy, and she was the battery coach. Dad, is now part of the Tasmanian Open women's coaching staff with me, and Mom's actually managing the Queensland Open women's team.
This is what I'm getting to here. Tasmania versus Queensland.
Yes.
In the national championships. Have you got some sort of date or time there? Because I think we'll get lots of people there. Team Waller. You're like, yay, woohoo, win either way or lose either way.
January 6th to 11th in Melbourne.
The summer of softball continues.
Yes, summer of softball continues. So it'll all be live streamed, and it's in Waverley in Victoria. If anyone is listening and live in Victoria, shoot me a message and come on.
And the night before, you're going to have a family dinner?
I don't know. It is really funny. I don't think I've ever had a parent against me. So this is definitely new territory for all of us, but it's because we love the sport so much. And she loves the head coach, Tolly. So she's really close with the head coach and the assistant coaches over there in Queensland. And
she loves the sport so much, but she also, how much does she love the sport?
Oh, it's so good. But it just keeps it fun, right? Like at the end of the day, we're playing. I'm playing for Tasmania, and Dad's coaching for Tasmania, just to keep more girls in the sport.
So it's a daughter against mum, dad against wife. And then we'll see what happens with the result.
See what happens, yeah. I'll come back in 3 months.
And then the family dinner, hey?
I think the family dinner.
Remember that time against Queensland?
The family dinner beforehand will be just smack talking. The family dinner afterhand is going to be the interesting one for sure.
Here's your birthday present: how to coach softball. Yeah, there's a book. There's a book idea. You should do that.
Oh God, it would be. It'll be good.
Now we do have some regular segments on Scoreboard, and we're thankful for all our partners and sponsors that are helping us out to tell stories of the game of sport. Our major partner is SwiftX, which is Australia's most trusted cryptocurrency exchange with over 1.2 million users across Australia and New Zealand. It's some massive news for SwiftX. They've just now put their name towards the Super Rugby competitions, as well as sponsoring and partnering with the old Auckland New Zealand Warriors in the NRL, as well as being sponsors of the recent Brisbane Lions that won the AFL competition. As part of their sponsorship with Scoreboard, we do a little segment called The Bucket List. And The Bucket List is a sporting event live that you haven't attended, Kayla, that you'd love to attend as part of the new campaign. Where can crypto take you?
State of Origin. I made the State of Origin NRLW this year, which was amazing bucket list moment, but I haven't made it to the men's yet. So definitely a State of Origin.
Game 3 at Suncorp would be the ultimate one where it's 1-1, right?
Yeah. Well, I did work. Okay, so I've technically worked at Game 1 this year. So I worked at Suncorp Stadium for Game 1, but it's not the same
as Game 3.
It's not the same as Game 3. It's not the same as being able to sit in with the crowd and be able to watch, because I had to be very unbiased.
Yes.
And work with
The
Queensland.
bucket list is a State of Origin Game 3 at Suncorp Stadium for a Queenslander / Tasmanian-ish. Nothing better / Kansas. Now it's time for the Do You Budget section, powered by PocketSmith. PocketSmith is the personal finance app for the household CFO, the one keeping the budget in check, paying the bills and kicking goals. Over 80,000 Australians use PocketSmith to track their spending, see their net worth and plan ahead. Kayla, do you budget?
Absolutely. I have to budget. So not only is softball a heavily equipment-based sport, so I'm a catcher. So, of course, I have the extra equipment on top of bat, glove, hitting helmet, catcher's gear. But, international tours, I play summer season and winter season. We have camps all the time that are domestic, but not necessarily in Queensland. So I'm traveling a lot of the time. So I definitely have to budget. Absolutely.
Have you heard of PocketSmith?
No.
There you go.
I'm definitely going to Google it now.
PocketSmith. I use it. It's great. The categorization is amazing. Different categories you can do. You can say like Chris Coffee, Julia, my wife. Times 3. Yeah, before midday. Espresso martini, $25. What was that? It's not mine. Couldn't be mine. Now it's time for scoreboard trivia, powered by a Video Pro. From home entertainment to business solutions, Video Pro brings world-class technology to Queensland and beyond. With over 40 years expertise and a team that truly cares, a Video Pro is trusted by households, schools and businesses alike. For more information, jump on to videopro.com.au. Now, they are giving us $200 gift cards for Video Pro. So all you need to do is answer the trivia questions correctly in an email, drop them to chris@scoreboardpodcast.com. The first in wins a $200 gift card at Video Pro. Thank you again to our friends at Video Pro. So let's get to the trivia. We have 2 questions today, Kayla, and they're softball related. Surprise, surprise. I got sound effects. I don't think I got sound effects. No. Anyway.
We'll add that later.
Drum roll. No, don't have sound effects. There you go. Okay, it's question number 1.
Okay.
How many times has the Australian Spirit participated in the Olympics?
5.
Oh, wow. Do you want to, if you're that quick on the answer, what are the years?
96, 2000, 2004, 2008, and 2020.
Nailed it. Eh?
It's like I play softball or something.
And then on the back of that, the strong performances by the Spirit, they've achieved some medals in those times. How many medals and what have they been?
Okay, 4. We've medaled 4 times.
Yes, you have. Correct.
A silver and 3 bronze. I think the silver was...
Didn't ask you for this answer, but you can go for it.
I think the silver was in Sydney?
No.
No, Athens?
Yes.
Dang it. Silver in Athens and the rest were bronze.
Which was Atlanta 96, Sydney 2000 and 2008
Atlanta, apologies.
as well.
Dang, you got me on that.
4 medals in the Olympics. That's awesome from the Spirit. And let's hope 2028 brings a 5th. Now, we also have a little question about the scoreboard moment, which is a moment in life, which I love asking this question. It's like a sliding doors moment, Kodak moment, whatever you want to call it. Very visual, can recall it, and then from that moment, life changed.
Okay. I have 2 that I really want to share because I think you'll love both of them, both softball related, because my life has always been revolved around softball. Definitely the first one was my first and last under 23s nationals. My mom was my assistant coach, so we were kind of one of the first mother-daughter combo that was allowed to partake, which was really special. And we went through undefeated, and we won the national championships, and it was at home in Redlands, as in Queensland.
What a great moment that is.
It was more, I remember it was, I think we won like only 2-0 or something. It was such a tight game. I remember running out of the dugout and cheering on with my teammates, and then being able to turn around and share that moment with my mom is just...
And you're going to be sharing another moment with your mum coming up soon against Queensland.
It'll be very different. It'll be a very different moment. But to be able to have my support network and to have both my parents, who are so heavily involved in softball, with me at nationals this year is very, very cool.
That is so cool.
Although mom picked the wrong colors.
That's okay. We shall see. That's moment number 1. What was moment number 2 then?
Getting my cap number for Australia. So
I did ask that question, but we digressed. There's no blame here. It's probably me.
You and I can chat. That we tend to be able to talk each other's ear off. So no, moment number 2 is when I received my cap number. That was March 2nd, 2024. It was against Chinese Taipei, funny enough. And it was in Sydney. So it was at Blacktown. So it was at the Olympic Park. And my cap number is 302. I got to catch to Kaya Parnaby, I've known her since I was really young, and she's world-renowned softball pitcher. So to be able to share that moment with her was incredible. But I think the visual that I always picture is running out there, and it was in the middle of the game, so I just got subbed in. So I've run out there, we're winning, a cheer when my name was announced, and I've looked up and I've seen my mom, my dad, my sisters, my aunt, my uncle, and my head coach for Tasmania, Lachlan, out there. So to be able to see my entire support group up there cheering, sharing this moment with me, and then turning around and having that Australian jersey on at home in Sydney, winning a game, having Kaya, who's known me since I was 15, this is 9 years later, wearing the same jersey together. My best friend is playing that game too, and she's in it was surreal. Like the stadium was packed. It was Diamond 1. The lights were on. Like I can still picture
You can picture it. That's the scoreboard moment. That's what I love. The goosebumps and the picturing, right? Question on that though. Like, how are you feeling during the game? Were you just like kind of embrace the moment, or were you just in the flow going, "Oh, I just compete 100%, and then we'll feel it after"?
I think I felt the moment when I walked in. So I walked onto the field, I jogged to my spot, shook the umpire's hand, and I got to look up and see everyone. And I went, oh my gosh, this is cool. I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of blacked out the warm-up pitches because I was like, this is kind of crazy. But then, your instincts come in of, I've done this a million times. And that's what kind of separates you from playing here and playing here is you can go, I've done this. This is nothing new. This is still softball. I still got to pull the signal, catch the ball, and throw back. That's my job.
And trash talk along the way.
And a little trash talk. Just a little bit.
Words of encouragement. That would probably deem to be your all-time favourite sporting moment if it included yourself. But a question I ask is your favourite all-time sporting moment that does not include yourself?
Probably go back to softball. So this is Atlanta 1996. USA versus Australia. It was the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th, nil all ball game, 1-0 ball game. USA was up, and people were leaving the stadium because they thought USA had this in the bag. Even the commentators were talking about who USA was going to play next. It was a big moment. 2 out. We had a runner on 2. And 2 strikes, Joe Brown has hit a home run to win the game for Australia 2-1. So in goosebumps, I still have goosebumps thinking about it.
So they're up 1-0.
USA was up 1-0.
And then they got a runner on second and you got 2.
And then we got 2. So we won 2-1.
To go to the
medal matches.
Medal matches, yeah.
Yeah, incredible. It was that.
And did it knock USA out or not?
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
In front of their home crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is it on YouTube?
Yeah, for sure.
How many times have you watched it?
I can't. I lost track. It's too good of a moment. It's that moment, and then it's a random one is Nat Cook and Carrie.
25 years to the day, maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Honestly,
not even 2. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, the 25th of September, I think it was.
It was, and it wasn't when they won. It was one set where, it was you barely get this, but. Brazil served and it ticked the net, and Nat's done this diving stop. They've ended up getting a point and that was when the tables turned. It's from her book.
Momentum Swing.
Momentum Swing. It's from Nat's book, Go Girl, which I read all the time when I need just that little bit of oomph.
She's got contagious energy. She came onto the podcast a few months ago, and a bit like yourself, you walk away and you're like, you've got this level of enthusiasm about life, and that you don't really. I mean, she talks about the scoreboard a lot, which is kind of cool with the scoreboard podcast, but her own Like she doesn't, you got to pretend that you're not looking at the scoreboard a lot in life, and that if you start looking around, swimming, peaking on other things, you go, oh, I want to be like them, we'll do this. Look, as soon as you become more comfortable with yourself, the better.
Yeah. And
you can see Nat, the phrase I always remember with Nat is, I'm winning. Yeah. I'm always winning. You can't beat me. And I was like, that's pretty cool to be that self-content in life.
Absolutely. And
it takes a lot of training, I'd imagine, as well.
Oh, absolutely. Her book, honestly, Go Girl, is the most amazing thing because it went from them not winning in 96 to winning in 2000 and that entire journey and everything she went through over the 4 years. It's incredible.
5 Olympics, by the way, for Nat as well. Like not just the gold medal in Bondi that everyone remembers. There's 5 Olympic cycles that she went through. Well, we're not here to talk about Nat. We're here to talk about you. So Go Girl, the name of the book. Last question for you. Some advice for a teenage girl that wants to be a professional athlete, play softball for Australia, do wonderful things in terms of sport. Some advice.
Have a goal in mind and think about it every single day and think of your why. Write your why on a piece of paper, put it up right next to your bed. Have a picture of your why as your lock screen. Think about why you're doing it because that's what's going to get you through those tough times because it's not an easy road. And especially if you're talking elite, if you're talking about representing Australia, it requires discipline and resilience, a lot of tough days, tough practices, and I don't want to do this anymore. But, that middle ground of not getting there, that's where the magic happens. So if you keep pushing through that, you keep resilient and you keep thinking about your why and you do that 1% every single day, it's going to be worth it in the end.
Coming from someone that has represented Australia herself, what a way to finish the podcast, Kayla Waller. Thank you so much for being on Scoreboard, the podcast today. I really do appreciate you coming in and having a chat in person. I wish you all the best for the summer of softball coming up with all the events that are happening. There's so many things, 3 different tournaments or 3 different games, etc. And all the best leading into LA 28.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.